This Penguin Nugget is about implementing an Ansible playbook. And this playbook is fairly simple one. We don't have variables or loop structures or conditions. The size of this playbook using YAML is about 55 lines, I believe. And I'm going to go from the very top. And I have a certain method to writing my playbooks in YAML. And as you see here, I have my Vim configuration customized for writing YAML code. And I have a nugget on your Vim configuration to make it suitable for writing YAML. So I start by identifying the name of the play. So this is play one. And whenever I do that, I know that I've got multiple plays within one playbook. So play one enables internet service. And I'm running this play against the managed to host Ansible one. And I need to become root. So becomes true. Then I list my tasks. And as you know, tasks are all about naming a task and then identifying the Ansible collection, and then the module was in a collection. So I'm using the built-in collection, and the DNF module was in the built-in collection. Notice that I write the name of a task, right? In a very specific manner. So I always start with ensure. So this task is going to ensure that the latest version of all required package are installed in the managed host. And I'm using the built-in collection and the DNF module. Now you'll notice that this particular playbook and all the plays in it utilize two collections, mostly the built-in collection, and then later on the POSIX collection. And if you need to know more about the collections, you can just run the command ansible-navigator collections as such. And this will display a list of all available collections. I'll have a Penguin Nugget later on to show you how you can download a collection and make it available to use in your playbooks. And if you ever wanted to see the details, so let's say you want to see the details of the Ansible POSIX collection, you can come here and press colon and the number of the collection, number 5 in this case scenario, and you will be able to see that there are 23 modules available under the Ansible POSIX collection. The one that we used in our playbook is Firewall D, and you can see the details of Firewall D again by pressing colon and number 6, and that will give you the documentation on Ansible POSIX Firewall D. So here are the tasks one by one. Notice that YAML is all about indentation. And this is where sometimes you spend a lot of time trying to fix typographical errors. And that's why it's really important to fix your Vim config. But notice here that this is the play header, right? And it starts from the third indentation. And then I've got my tasks. And notice that all of my tasks, are under the same indentation, okay? All of my task names, so here are the task names. You can see them here all the way down to the playbook. And you can see once you get under a task name, then the primary part is knowing what collection and module is going to be used. So this task uses Ansible built-in DNF module. This one uses Ansible built-in service module. This one, several use the service module. And later on, you will see how we can loop through these. And this one uses the POSIX collection. This one uses the built-in collection and the copy module, and so on. So it's really important that you go through these with a fine comb and make sure that your indentation is correct. Okay, but you can see here that at the end, I start the second play, and I specifically call this play 2, and I make it pretty clear as far as what the purpose of play 2 is, which is to test the internet web server, which was set through the first play, okay? And notice that basically I'm going to try to connect to the PHP, the index.php page that was copied in play 1. And if I get status code 200, which it means we were able to reach the server and get to the index page without errors, that's what the status code 200 means, you know. And it's important to show you that I did build the index.php file, and I saved it inside my Ansible projects. So the Ansible projects folder has my Ansible config, it has my inventory, it has my collections, and so on. So this is the content of the index.php. And I'm going to run the playbook. So let me escape here. I don't really want to make any changes, so put without saving. And I'm going to use the command ansible-navigator run, and the mode is standard out on the internet YAML. Now I have already ran this playbook with the 2 plays, so no changes will be made, but I want you to see the output and to just examine what it says for us together. So here's play 1, which enables internet service, and it's gathering facts on the Ansible 1 managed node, and all the tasks are running. You can see the task name, and okay, task name, and okay. And here's a play number 2, which is testing the internet web server, and 2 tasks were executed without errors. Then you get a playbook recap, and the playbook recap, right, is divided per play and is divided per host. So play 1, that's where we set up the internet server on Ansible 1. We had 7 tasks, all of them ran okay with no errors. And play 2, we tested that web server from the local host. So I used the local host to connect to the web server, which we configured on the managed node Ansible 1, and from the local host, I tested and I was able to connect to the web server. And I further tested my configuration by basically opening a web browser and connecting to Ansible 1 example.local index PHP, and I just had a very small text that says, "Welcome, Red Hat engineers." So you can see that the playbook executed without any problems. And now it's really important. One more thing to note is there are so many collections, and your primary source of documentation, which you will also have access to when you take the Red Hat Certified Engineer exam, is the Ansible docs site. So if you go here to Ansible documentation, which is https://docs.ansible.com, you need to be very familiar of this website because it will help you tremendously to look stuff up. So here's a section on collections, and you will find yourself mainly going to the Ansible core tab. And the Ansible core tab will allow you to look at the Ansible core documentation. And from here, you can navigate modules and see the syntax of each module. And it is really, really helpful. And I'm so glad that Red Hat allows us to use this when we take the Red Hat Certified Engineer exam. And that's it for this Penguin Nugget. Thank you for tuning in.